The Iberian Peninsula, situated in the southeast of Europe, is a land of great ecological wealth. High mountains, steppelands, coast and deserts combine with three radically different types of climate: Mediterranean, oceanic and continental. As a result, there is an incredible variety of ecosystems which provide the country with some of the most beautiful natural landscapes in Europe. In contrast to these wonderful landscapes, some of the most valuable natural areas are often quite unspectacular. Some real natural treasures are to be found hidden behind dull facades. One of these paradises is in Zamora, near the Portuguese border. Near the village of Villafafila, there are some shallow lagoons surrounded by agricultural land. They do not make for a great view, but they are included in the International Agreement on Protection of Wetlands. The European Union has declared them a special protection area, and the Spanish government has classified them as a nature reserve. They are of unique and unquestionable value. The importance of these lagoons for man has changed over the centuries. During the 10th century, they were the only salt flats in the kingdom of León and were used for this purpose. Several villages were founded around them, and they lived off the salt business until the development of trade brought Portuguese salt, which was of higher quality and cheaper, to the area. Pigeon rearing was very common along with traditional agriculture and livestock farming. Immense pigeon lofts, today in ruins, can be found scattered all over the plains. They were made of adobe, a mixture of clay and straw, which is still used in some parts of the world. The pigeonholes, or uvacas, were organized around interior yards in a solid wall parallel to the external facade. Many of these pigeon lofts were better constructed than the houses where the townspeople lived. There are 180 of these buildings left in Villafafila. Each one could house hundreds of pigeons, which gives an idea of the economic significance of this activity. Pigeon rearing was not open to all and sundry. The right to have a pigeon loft was a privilege only granted to the highest classes of feudal society. The birds did not require any special care and only needed to be fed in the winter. Their excrement was highly rated as fertilizer, and the chicks were sold for consumption. The profits to be obtained from this business were considerable. Over time, the business became less profitable and was eventually abandoned. The right to keep pigeon lofts was abolished, along with other privileges of the nobility, and the land gradually changed hands from large landowners to small local owners. Most people worked in arable or livestock farming. Industrialization and the mechanization of agriculture in the middle of the 20th century caused the rural population to shrink drastically. Many villages have a lower population today than at the beginning of the 19th century. The times when the salt flats were the main source of income for the region are long gone by. Today they have no economic value, but they have acquired an enormous ecological value instead. A value which becomes evident with the start of the autumn rains. After a summer in which they have almost completely dried up, the salt flats fill up with water again. Nature is preparing them for the arrival of their winter guests, the birds. Grey lag geese, common shell ducks and mallards are just some of the multitude of species which choose these salt flats for their winter residence. Flocks arrive every year from northern Europe to settle in the few wetlands left on the Iberian Peninsula. They stay there until the following spring, when they go back to their homelands to mate.